Just gonna talk about a few things, whatever, do some comedy. Just fuck around, you know, hey. I was kind of thinking about people having kids. You know, a lot of these reality shows like the Duggars and the Sister Wives show where he has multiple spouses. They're having a bunch of kids. They're cranking out nearly 20 kids, you know, each. And the thing about when you're having a kid, you're sort of making a person. You're not just like having a kid. You know, you're not just like, okay, you've, you know, had sex and then 9 months later this being comes out of your wife's uterus, your vagina, and that's it, you know, I mean, whatever. Then you just keep cranking them out like Model Ts. Don't really see the point of it. Because when you make that's a big deal when you make a person. Big deal. You know, you have to instill values on this person. You know, try to, you know, some conventional wisdom, give them some common sense, you know, try to keep them on the right track. Let them make their own decisions, of course, but you know, overall guide them in a good way, you know, you think, and that's what you have to do, and that's part of the work and part of the reward of being a good parent is doing that. So if you're having like a bunch of them, you're having a litter of children, you know, like 10, 20, whatever, how many children some of these reality show families have, and some families throughout the country have, in the world. You can't do that, because you lose track, you know? I mean, your goal is to keep them from, you know, becoming serial killers or, you know, religious extremists, if there's a difference. But that's what you got to do. You have to instill values upon these kids, and so many of these people, they just don't get it. They're so daft. They you know, it's what they were raised with apparently, so they think, hey, their kid can only benefit from their wisdom, and it doesn't quite work that way. It doesn't. But I just don't really, I guess I don't have a lot of respect or I don't know if I have any respect for religion, just as far as extremism and just telling your children these erroneous stories about Adam and Eve and telling them this is how the world works, even though the world around them isn't working that way at all. You know, and there's nothing outside your house that has to do with the Bible. It's people wandering around on their cell phones or dicking around on their iPad or driving around like an asshole texting, and they're more concerned about like what happened, you know, last week on True Blood or one of their favorite shows than they are concerned about the Holy Scripture, because it really has nothing to do with our modern lives. It just doesn't. It's not. Even people that go to church that are out of habit or just because it's part of their family culture aren't into it in the way that a lot of the extremist people are into it. And they want people to they believe in the rapture, and they think you're going to hell if you live outside and in the secular realm, basically. So I honestly don't see where the fuck they're going with this shit. I don't. I mean, there's no, I don't know what's on the other side of the universe any more than anybody else. And I don't, and that's kind of where I operate from, because that's all I know. And to go out, it's such a, you have to be the biggest pompous ass in the world to go out there and bombard people and tell people that I know why you're unhappy, and I know you're going to hell, but I can help you not go to hell. You're promising somebody something. It's the biggest con artist trick in the book. You're promising, you're telling someone that something bad is going to happen to you if you don't come along with me. It's like if I'm selling you something some sort of product, like, you know, your freaking house is going to, you know, become overrun with termites if you don't buy this product and spray this shit throughout your house. It's a miracle product, whether it works or not. But it's kind of what it is. Like, you know, this bad stuff's gonna happen to you, man. The only way they can get you to somehow, I guess, follow their moral imperative is to threaten you with imminent danger, which is completely false. You know, it's just made up out of their heads. They're not. None of this is real, but they have to, you know, give you this sense that you're in real danger if you don't come along with me on this thing, if you're not saved by Christ or whatever. And that's what it is, man. I mean, Kirk Cameron, that actor who used to be on Growing Pains, does this shit. I even saw him speak once years back in my hometown, and he's a fucking idiot. You know, I mean, it's like he's a good speaker. He's an actor, man. And that's what they're, you know, that's what he did. He acted. He just came in and, you know, I know everything now. You know, man, I used to be an evolutionist and an atheist, but now I know everything, man. And I know that, you know, Jesus is going to come back and everything's going to be cool. And, you know, you just can't act this way, man. You can't do that stuff, man. Because if you've sinned in your heart, then you've sinned already. And so he says stuff like that. You know, have you thought about fucking some woman that wasn't your wife? Yeah, who the fuck hasn't thought about that shit, for Christ's sakes? I mean, if I had to deny myself that, I would, you know, seriously. You're talking about everybody. Everybody continues to do it anyway, even after they say they've accepted Christ in their heart or whatever. It's a bunch of shit. Have you sinned? Have you stolen? Yeah, I've stolen some shit. Who hasn't stolen something? Man, I haven't stolen anything lately, but when I was a kid, your friends dared you to steal a comic book and shit, and you got away with it, and you never did it again. It's just dumb. It's just like all kinds of shit, you know? It doesn't help anybody or anything. It's just like, oh wow, here's somebody with another useless solution. Thanks. That's what we need, is more Jesus. He's done so much good. He's really, you know, and I'm sorry, when is the fucking last time you saw Jesus show up anyway, really, honestly? I haven't seen him lately. You? No, haven't seen him. Hasn't been around. Hasn't stopped by to say hi. Hasn't friended me on Facebook. Hasn't sent me a tweet. Nothing. So, I'm not really counting on Jesus Christ at this point in the game. I'm kind of like, I wrote him off. I'm good. He's a cool dude, whatever. If he's not around anymore, if he ever existed and he was cool person. But I'm not gonna fucking, you know, base my life or hope he's gonna, like, I have an actual relationship with him is what I mean. Like, people, they have a relationship with someone who's dead and doesn't exist anymore, at least. And I don't have a relationship with people that I even knew when they were alive, that because they're dead now. Because they're dead. I can't have a relationship with them anymore. Okay? You can't have a relationship with dead people unless you're a necrophiliac, and that's just disgusting. So, you don't. I don't have a relationship with Christ or Julius Caesar or George Washington or Frederick Douglass or Ben Franklin or a Tyrannosaurus Rex or Mozart or Thomas Jefferson, and I'm trying to think of some names here. Elvis. Elvis is dead. I have a relationship with Elvis because he's dead. I can't have that relationship now. You know, granted, if I had been around him when I was 3 or 4, when I was still alive, I might have been able to meet him, but I wouldn't have remembered it. But it's, you know, you just don't have relationships with dead people, you know. Try to have relationships with the people that are actually in your life. And get a life. You guys are fucking crazy. It's not, you know, Jesus isn't real. It's not. That whole thing, I mean, the dude he's not around, not coming back, he doesn't care about you, doesn't. Because he's dead. Just like anyone else who's died. None of them care about you anymore because they can't anymore because they don't exist. So stop hanging on to it. Jesus is dead. Christianity is a sham, just like every other major world religion.